What is up, guys? Chris, I'm Professional Dad, and I'm here with another knife video. Guys, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I don't ever try, ever, to speak ill in any way or negative about a knife. Any knife, no matter what that knife is, no matter how affordable it is, no matter how expensive it is, I just don't do it. And the reason why is because no matter what my opinions of that knife are, somebody somewhere loves that knife. And the last thing that I want that person to do is come onto my channel and see me blasting their favorite knife, or a knife that they've worked really hard to buy, or a knife that was given to them by somebody and it has special value and meaning to them. And then they come on here and see some no-name guy from the great state of Kentucky blasting that knife. That's just not who I am, not how I roll. So I usually stay away from that type of thing. But I'm going to do something right now. I'm not going to talk negative about any knife. What I am going to do is I'm going to tell you 7 knives that I would not buy again. Not because these knives are bad, because actually every one of these knives are really, really good. Really good. It's just something about these knives just don't mesh with me. And because of that, if I knew now, or if I knew then what I know now, I would not have bought them when I did. I would not spend my money on them again. I would probably go a different route. Again, remember, none of these knives, well, one of them is a pretty, well, it's just not a great knife. The rest of them are really good knives. They really are, and they have some really good features. And for the right person, they are a fantastic option. For me, they just weren't. So remember that when I'm talking about these knives, they're not bad knives. The product is a good product. It's just we each have our own preferences, tastes, and styles, and sometimes a knife does not mix or blend with those preferences and styles. So having said that, let's go ahead and get into it. The very first knife that I'm going to show you guys is a knife that I was really excited to get. There's a brand that I think is phenomenal. I think they are absolutely a sleeper brand that have some amazing knives, and that brand is Rake. Now, Rake has the P801, and in my opinion, this is the poor man's Sebenza, and it is an absolute banger knife. I mean, for the price that you pay for this knife, you get so much. This knife should cost 2 to 3 times what it does. It's that daggone good. And anybody that has gotten this knife after I've talked about it, that's come back and told me, hey, I got that knife, they've all agreed. I've still not heard anybody talk negative about this knife. It's that good. It's awesome. So what did I do? I bought another Rake. And I absolutely loved that knife as well. Not as much as this one, but I definitely loved it. It was a little bit more expensive, but I loved it. And then I wanted to continue doing it. So I went and bought this knife right here. This is the Rake P831 SF. The 831 SF. Now, at first glance, this knife is awesome. I mean, this knife is awesome. Look at that knife. Look at that knife. Now, they've got a couple different versions of this. One is this Wharncliffe style right here, and that's the one that I got. It has beautiful blue anodized pivot and thumb stud. It's only got one thumb stud, not two. One thumb stud that you can reverse. It does have a pocket clip that is not reversible or deep carry. It is a frame lock. It also has a lock on here that does 2 things. One is it protects the frame lock from over travel so it doesn't damage the frame lock. Another thing that it does is it locks it in the open position. Now, you cannot lock it in the closed position, but if you open it, you can lock it in the open position so that it cannot be closed. A safety feature. All in all, a really, really good knife. 14C 28M blade steel. Absolutely great. The milling on the stainless steel handle, absolutely phenomenal. The price on this knife, absolutely amazing. All in all, a really, really, really good knife. But I'm going to tell you what my problem with it is. Because it's a frame lock, there are a lot of frame locks, and you all have watched my channel. You know that there are some frame locks like the McNeese that I have. I cannot open that thing. I have to switch hands, hold it just the right way, and then I can possibly get it to open. But if I hold it in the right hand, I cannot. Same thing with this knife right here. I'm struggling really hard right now to open it. It is so narrow, it is so slim that you have to hold your fingers way back here on the back to pop it open. And even then, you're putting too much pressure on the frame lock to get it open. It just won't do it. It's very, very hard for me to open this knife. And if I hold it in this hand, I can't do it because there's no thumb stud on that side. So what I have to do is I have to hold it just the right way, and hopefully I can get it to open. Sometimes I can like that right there, and I'll get lucky. But 9 times out of 10, unless I'm really focusing on positioning my hand just the right way to where I can get it to open, I cannot open this knife. Not only that, when I do open the knife and I do get it to work, I can always feel myself wanting to slip and let go of the knife. So even when I am able to finagle it to get it to open, I can feel my fingers just barely holding on and the knife almost being out of my hand. In fact, on the last video I done, you all saw it, there was a CRKT squid. Because it was so small and I had to position my big old fingers just right to open it, it went flying. And I feel like I'm going to do that every single time I open this knife. Again, fantastic knife. For someone with smaller hands or someone that just doesn't care that they have to open the knife with 2 hands, just do it this way instead of the flipping and opening and the fidgetiness and stuff. This knife is an absolute home run. This brand is a home run, 14C28 in blade steel. It's slicey. It's got a great grind. It's got a great tip. It's got a great everything. It's beautiful. Price right. Safety lock. Everything. This knife is absolutely fantastic for the right person. But for me and my large hands, this just isn't the right knife for me. Not because it's a bad knife, but because my hands don't work for the knife. The knife was the same way when I bought it. So it's not the knife's issue. The knife was made this way. It was marketed this way. It was promoted this way. The dimensions were listed this way. The knife was the knife. The problem wasn't the knife. Too many times we'll get something and we don't like it or something and we'll blame it on the product, when really the product is the product, and it's the same product it was before you bought it, when you bought it, after you bought it. The product is the product. 99% of the time, unless it's a defective product that's poorly made or something like that, or falsely advertised. And with those rare exceptions, 99% of the time when we don't like something, it's not the product's fault. It's our fault because we got something without looking at it, without studying, without researching, or because we bought something that doesn't mesh with what we like. Is that the product's fault? If the product is what the product is, then we shouldn't have bought it in the first place. So it's not like the thing can mold and transform into something else once we get it. It was the same thing before you got it that it is when you get it. So it's not the knife's fault. Really ain't. And I'm saying that now to go into the rest of these knives so I don't have to say it again. The next knife is the Master Chief from Kubey. And let me tell you, this one hurts my heart. This one hurts my heart. Because 2 things about this knife that it breaks my heart to say this. Number 1, it's Kubey. And I love Kubey. The Titius, so many of their different knives are absolutely amazing. Number two, look at the size of that blade. That's reminiscent of the AD10. A large, thick, no, it's not thick, but I mean just a wide blade, big belly, slicey, good sharp piercing tip, grinds and stuff, jimping on top, everything. It's got micarta scales. I mean, there's so many things. A big deep carry pocket clip. So many things about this knife scream out, Chris, I'm a perfect knife for you. But whoever designed this knife did not put a lot of thought into the ergonomics of this knife. Because of the ergonomics. Now, for some people, it might be perfect. But it goes from so thick to so thin in a very short period of time. The only way I can hold this knife and it be comfortable is if I hold it almost like I'm holding a bang, bang, bang thing. You got to hold it like that, like you're holding something that you're going to, if you actually hold it like this right here, you got your fingers wide right there and your other fingers really narrow. The ergonomics on this knife are not for me. They're just not. I mean, everything about this knife is spot on, awesome, amazing. Thick steel liners. I mean, it is a frame lock. It's beautiful. It's priced well. All 10 blade steel. So you're getting a really good blade steel for an EDC knife. By all accounts and recollections, this thing should be amazing for me. It should be like one of my favorite all-around knives that I own, under $100. But because of the ergonomics, it is absolutely a knife that I will not ever carry or use, because it's beyond. This is one knife that actually is extremely uncomfortable to hold. It just is. And I know that might not make sense, but it's like your hand is in a roller coaster. Half your hand is really high, half your hand is really low, and it just doesn't work. There's no gradual slide down or step down. It just really high, really low, really high, really low. I mean, and it's like your fingers are on two different, I'm doing a poor job of explaining. The ergonomics just don't work for me. For some people, this is probably a banger knife and you absolutely love it and the ergonomics are perfect. For me, I mean, it looks great. Look at that. Looks perfect. Looks awesome. But I'm telling you, if you've got large hands, large fingers, and you try this out, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. And that'll be really uncomfortable in your hand. So because of that, I would not buy this amazingly beautiful. Every 9 out of 10 features on this knife are perfect. The 10th one is enough to make it. It really is a testament to how important ergonomics on a knife are. It doesn't matter how great the blade is. It doesn't matter what the materials are. It doesn't matter what it looks like. If the ergonomics don't work and you can't hold it in your hand and use the knife comfortably, the whole knife is done. It's just shot. And daggone, my eyes started watering. But yeah, there you go. I love that knife, everything about that knife, except for that one thing. The ergonomics are just off for me. All right, this next knife, I love this knife. I love this company. I love the materials. I love everything except for the size is just too small for me. It is so laughably small. In fact, on a recent live, somebody asked me about this knife, but they asked me about the full size, and I told them, "Oh, I've got one right here," and I whipped it out, but it's the mini, and it's the main street right here. I mean, look at how laughably small this little bitty tiny thing is. It is so small. It's like not even a 5th pocket carry knife for me. It's like I'm doing a magic trick. Boof, it's gone. And I didn't even have to do anything with it. It just literally is so small you don't see it. It's still in my hand right there. It's just so small you don't see it anymore. See it? It's right there. It's that small. The full size is phenomenal. I love Canset. I love the look of this knife. I love that it's aluminum. I love, I think this is 154. I'm pretty sure that this is 154. I could be wrong. I can't see. But the action is fidgety. I mean, it's just so small. It's laughably small. And this is another example of how the knife isn't the problem. When I saw this and I ordered it, the place I ordered it from is a place that I order a lot of my stuff wholesale. I've mentioned them before. Sometimes they don't do a great job of listing dimensions and specs on stuff. This was one where it looked on the picture like it was a big, huge, full-size knife. And then when I got it, it was so daggone laughably small. I was like, what is that? Is this a joke? Is this like the little example that comes with it, and then you get the regular full-size knife that comes? It's just, and it still costs a lot of money for this little bitty thing. I mean, I can't remember what I paid for this, but it was not cheap. Crossbar lock, deep carry pocket clip. I mean, aluminum handles, good spacers. It's got that frag pattern frag pattern aluminum. Almost said titanium. Dual thumb studs. I mean, a great shaped blade, very sharp, very slicey, just extremely, extremely small. And if I had to do all over again, I would never, ever, ever buy a knife this small. I like having it for the collector's part of it, but I'm never going to carry this knife or use this knife. This literally is a knife that's just sitting there. This knife this is one of those knives that this is a really good knife, and I like everything about this knife. I just wouldn't buy this knife again because of the price, because I don't see the price. I don't understand the price. I thought because of the name and stuff that it was going to be something great. Like once I got it in my hand, I was going to realize why they cost so much. But I totally don't get it. Like, I think this knife is probably 2 times what it should cost. And it's the Acta Non Verba A100. Now, they have this in Elmax. They have this in MagnaCut. And I could see either one of those, the knife costing $150 to $160. Either one of those. But this is Sleipner steel, which is basically a tool steel. A little bit better than like D2 and stuff. It's $160. I paid a lot of money for this. It's GRN handles. It's lightweight. It's frail and fragile. It feels like you're going to snap it in your hands. It's got a very thin little wire pocket clip. It does have a crossbar lock, and the action is great. I mean, the action is extremely fidgety. I like the look of it. I love the fact that it's blue. Go big blue. Love the blacked out blade. I love the shape of the blade. I like everything about the knife. I really do. Even the fact that it's Sleipner steel, it does not bother me none. I like it. I carry it sometimes. It's a little too light for me. I don't like the light, thin, frail GRN type of knives, especially when they're costing as much as this knife costs. If it had aluminum handles, maybe it would be a little bit more justifying of the price. Or stainless handles, or titanium handles. Or if it had the Elmax or the MagnaCut blade steel, maybe it would. It's only got one thumb stud on one side, not on the other. Again, I don't mind a wire pocket clip. Actually, I like wire pocket clips. This is reversible pocket clip. I like wire pocket clips on a lot of things. This one feels really cheap. I don't like to say that, but it just does. They come out of Czech Republic. I know that has something to do with the price because of where they're made and the, tariffs and different costs and stuff like that, sending them all over here. And I know Actinon Verba has amazing fixed blades. They've got some really, really good fixed blades. And again, if this knife had the better blade steels, I could see it costing a little bit more. But when I can go and get the best Heckman Dundee with G10 handles and MagnaCut blade, and the blade is as long as this or longer, and it literally feels, and I got that thing for $90. It's the best Heckman, and it's a Knife Center exclusive with MagnaCut blade steel. And I got that for $90, and then this is $160, and it's just like, I don't understand why this knife costs what it does. I just don't understand it. I don't see it. Some people absolutely love Actinon Verba, and yes, somebody mentioned it, and it's the truth. It does sound like a Harry Potter spell, Actinon Verba. Like, I don't know. That's corny, but it does. Their fixed blades are phenomenal, and I understand why they cost what they do. But this knife right here, I do not see the cost. I do not see the price. I just wanted to get an Actinon Verba. I'd heard so much about them. I wanted one. And I ordered this. And when I got it out, I was like, oh, not again. Because there's a couple more knives. And one of them's the very next knife that I'm going to show you that I felt that way when I opened it out of the package. I had this big hype and was all excited about it. I thought it was going to be this great knife. And then I opened it up and I was like, really? This is the hype? And that's kind of exactly what happened when I opened this knife. The packaging, the box and everything was pretty cool, but great knife. This is one knife on here that I like. I have no problem carrying this knife. It's the right size. I don't mind the blade steel. I just would not pay the price on this knife again for what I got, or for what you would get if you bought this knife. I just wouldn't do it. You can get the same exact knife with MagnaCut for like $5 more. They just didn't have an option of Elmax or MagnaCut when I got this, so I got it. And great knife. I really, really mean that. It is a good knife. I'm not saying it's a bad knife, because it's not. And I'll still carry it now. I carried it last night when I walked out and took the dog. I was fidgeting with it like I am now. I just wouldn't pay the price on this knife ever again. The next knife, when I got it, I was so excited about this knife. And you've never seen me do a lot with this knife. You've not seen me talk about this knife a whole lot. You've not seen me, this knife is almost like non-existent in my collection. Because when I got it, somebody said in a comment one day, and it's hit the nail on the head. It feels like a toy. Like a little thin plastic toy. But it don't cost the price of a toy. And it's the Deka. I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this because a lot of people like the Deka. I have some people who watched the video who have literally commented about how their Deka was in pieces in a box because the handles snap, American made. MagnaCut blade, I love the blade. The blade shape is awesome. The blade shape is perfect. The action on it, great. When you pay $150 on a knife and you get GRN, thin, little, frail handles, I understand that they're going for a lightweight experience, a lightweight EDC option. But man, again, it's not the knife's fault. I'm the one that bought it. That was exactly how it was when it was pitched, promoted, and advertised. I bought the knife. The knife was already this way when I got it. It's not like I bought one thing and it showed up and it was something else. This is exactly what I ordered. So I got exactly what I ordered. So it's not the knife's fault. And there's a lot of people that love this knife for a reason. And I'm not saying it's not a good knife, because for all intents and purposes, it's a good knife. It's just light and it feels like a toy to me. It really does. And other people might feel the same exact way when you feel this. Now, if I could get some titanium handles on this or some aluminum handles or something, even G10, different ball game. This would probably be one of my favorite knives because of the action and the blade shape and American made and MagnaCut blade, all the good things that you want in a knife. Boom, right there you go. But the fact that light little cheap feel in it, I don't like using that word when we're talking knives. I like using affordable, budget, but this does feel cheap. It feels cheap. It feels like a toy. But it ain't cheap. It costs a lot of money. And some people like that. And some people will pay that and think, yeah, that's great. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I want a lightweight knife that I don't feel in my pocket weighing me down. And, you know, I can be nimble with it and everything. And some people, that's exactly what they want. Not me. I like the 8010. I like the heavy, bulky knives. I like this knife. If this knife had the ergonomics of this knife, I'd love this knife. You know, but I would never spend my money on a Deka again unless it had better handles. I just wouldn't do it. I'd never do it. Now, I don't want to get rid of this. I want to keep it because I like having it in my collection, and I know Deka. Hogue is a great brand. Hogue is a phenomenal brand. They're automatics. Their knives all the way around. Hogue is an American-made gem in the knife world. I'm not saying that they're not. Please, no hate for that, because Hogue is amazing. It's just a Deka is not for me. This knife right here, and I'm almost done. This knife right here, kind of another example of where I just should have read a little bit better on the description of the knife. This was a knife that's a collaboration, and there was this hype and heat around this knife coming out, and everybody wanted one, and I got it and stuff, and it is an awesome little knife. But it is a little knife, and it should probably cost half what it does. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, really? Is it that small? I can't believe it's that small. And it is the Boker Chavez Mini Redemption collaboration. Now, if you know me and you know my channel, you know I love Chavez and I love that pocket clip. And that pocket clip is why I bought this. But it might have a Chavez pocket clip on it, a Chavez looking pocket clip, but this is a Boker knife. And Boker's a great knife. I'm not saying anything about Boker. And their Kalashnikov knives are awesome. They're autos. They're great. But this is a little bitty tiny knife in MagnaCut. Now that I'll give it credit for. It does have MagnaCut and aluminum handles. But you're talking a little bitty tiny knife that is a Boker that was $200 because it was a collaboration with Chavez. And that's it. That's it. Now you can get them cheaper than that. I also thought when I got this knife that it was going to be almost like a Sprint Run limited edition. They're only going to make these and then they're done. This isn't something you're going to be able to get for a long, long time. But I guess they sold a lot of them and they're like, hey, you know what? Why stop making these if people are buying them? So now you can continue getting them. So I would not have paid $200 for a little bitty tiny knife like this that I don't ever carry. I would never carry it. It's small. I mean, this thing is super, super small. It's also a Boker. Not that that is the reason it shouldn't cost $200, because there's plenty of Bokers that should cost $200. But the only reason I think that this Boker costs $200 is because of the collaboration part. And if they were a one-time runoff one-time sprint run. They was only going to make them these limited. Once they're gone, they're gone. You can never get them again. Yeah, $200. All right, I can see it. But knife that's going to continually be made, and you can continually get, and the price is going to lower, and just keep dropping. I would not go back and buy this. I would have waited until it was a lot more affordable. Yes, it's a great piece for a collection part, stuff like that, but I would not have bought this knife again. And some people would disagree with me on that, because this is a cool little knife. And I'm not saying it's not. I love this knife, and I'm glad that I have this knife. I just wouldn't buy the knife again for what I paid in the situation that I bought it. And I would have waited until it was far more affordable, easier to get. And I also would have known what I was getting, that it is a small little knife. So, I mean, that is a tiny little knife. I mean, that is tiny little knife, you know. Last knife is this knife, and this is the only knife on the table that really is just, it's not that it's not well made, it's just that it's too big for what it is. So there's too much blade play. You can't tighten it up, because if you do, it doesn't work anymore. It's a gimmick knife. There's no real function to this knife. There's no purpose to this knife. It's great for a collector's piece or just for the gimmick of it, but I wouldn't buy this a second time. And it is the foot-long Boker Kalashnikov Hot Dog. I mean, there's so much blade play in this thing, and you can't tighten it down, because if you do, then it won't open. The blade is just too big. I mean, it's just too big. There's no purpose to this knife. Absolute no purpose. You're not carrying this knife around. There's no tip on it. There's no nothing. I mean, maybe for like an actual kitchen knife, using this knife for a kitchen knife, you know, slicing some vegetables or something, maybe almost like I mean, it is sharp, but even then, if you used it, you're going to rub the paint off and everything else. And I mean, it's just, I wouldn't buy this knife again. Maybe I would get the smaller regular size Wiener Warrior, because you still got one, but the foot long I definitely should not have got. I don't know why I did. It's just because I guess I thought it was funny. And I like the Boker Kalashnikov knives. I really do. Boker Kalashnikovs are great autos. They're affordable. They're budget options, but they still give you good reliability, good blades, a good brand Boker. It's just this one is just not the right one. Cool collector's piece. I just wouldn't buy it again. That's the only time I've ever done a video like this, knives that I wouldn't buy again or anything like that. And again, all of these knives are phenomenal knives for the right reason and the right person knowing what they are going into it and wanting that feature, whether it be wanting a thin, slim knife that they can open because they have smaller little hands and stuff. Fantastic knife. Or somebody that does have small hands or wants a fifth pocket carry knife like this. Great knife. Ergonomics, I don't really know. This, great knife. Just not worth the price. Many people love it, just not me. So yeah, all of them are great knives. I'm not saying any of them are bad. They're not. There's not a bad knife on this table. They are all phenomenal knives. They just aren't knives that I would buy again. So yeah, it's just my perspective. I've never done a video like this again before, and I probably won't again. I just wanted to do it, and because I really am thinking about really downsizing my collection a lot and going in a different direction towards different types of knives just for a little while, and showing you new stuff and things, and getting rid of a lot of these to make room for new. So I'm pondering different things now that I haven't pondered before. What would I buy again? What wouldn't I? What direction do I want to go with from here on with the collection and stuff like that? So yeah, there you go. I appreciate it, guys. I'll show you one other knife. This knife also almost made it onto the, this is the Evolve Overwatch from BRS. And this knife also almost made it on here because I think that it is, I don't like the color. This just looks like a daggone Persian sword or something. And it just doesn't look very practical for a knife for me carrying around. I would never carry around this knife. S35VN blade steel, titanium handles. The reason that this didn't make it on here is because I paid $90 for this, for all of it on Blade HQ. $90. Now it's $160 on Blade HQ. So because of that price, I'd buy it again just because of how much I paid. Now I wouldn't pay no $160 for it, but if it was $90, I'd pay that for a titanium knife with S35VN. I don't care what the knife is, or yeah, it's worth it no matter what the knife is. So that's why this knife didn't make it on there, but it almost did. But all right, guys, I'm Chris M, Professional Dad. Links in the description for all these knives and for other stuff as well. Check that out. I appreciate it. I'm the Professional Dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives, and I hope you all don't think bad about these knives just because I said I wouldn't get them again. Take it with a grain of salt. It's just content to be talking. I appreciate it. See you in the next one.